Young martial arts masters who like to fight, backed into corners by super strong bald dudes in spandex. One is forced to take the power of God to achieve his desires, and the other surpasses the gods with a technique they haven't mastered in thousands of years. Garou and Goku have many striking similarities, possibly intentional on one's part who likes to meme certain cliches in the shonen genre. In one of my first videos, Goku vs Garou equal stats, I compared the skill sets of each character while assuming they had equal power, speed, and durability. However, I teased the idea of doing a more traditional versus battle using Garou from the webcomic in his Awakened Garou mode versus Teen Goku from the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai. That was obviously back when we only really had the webcomic to work with for Garou, before Garou even appeared on the surface in the manga, and now that Garou has his own sort of god mode, I figured comparing him to Dragon Ball Super Goku would be a lot more fitting and fun. Also, if you guys like this video or enjoy power scaling content in general, make sure you subscribe. Last time you guys absolutely blew it out of the water and got us to 5,000 subscribers, and I really appreciate it. This time, let's see if we can make it to 10k. Anyway, let's get on with the video. Let's start with Garou, since in the equal stats video we started with Goku. Time has passed since the best scaling we had for One Punch Man was Boros destroying the Earth's surface or stars, depending on your interpretation. Garou, after copying Saitama's full power, and Saitama clash serious punches. The energy then gets deflected away from Earth by blasting it into deep space. The energy wipes out a hole in the sky and causes all the stars in that portion of the sky to disappear. Many people debate if the stars were destroyed or just moved. However, moving that many stars in an instant would still be an absurd amount of energy. If we do say they destroyed these stars, the feat has been calculated between 10 to the 64 and 10 to the 68 joules of energy, or as the power scalers would call it, galaxy level. This is actually kind of consistent with a statement from the publishing company, which says that Garou has gained the power to shake the universe, which has been calculated at 10 to the 65 joules of energy, or extremely high multi-solar system level. After these feats, Garou gets much stronger against Saitama by constantly adapting. The two evenly clash serious punches, and after that Saitama begins to dominate Garou, until Garou copies Saitama again and matches him. If this visual representation is meant to be taken literally, then Garou has gotten many times stronger than Saitama and himself at the start of the fight, and could probably replicate the hole in his sky on his own, if not surpassing it. This unfortunately probably wouldn't propel Garou into multi-galaxy levels of power. Due to the sheer difference between galaxies, it's not as simple as galaxy level times 2. So imagine to be multi-galaxy level, you aren't just destroying 2 galaxies, but you also have to cover the vast distance between them, which is millions of light years. Garou can also take punches from a full power Saitama who was constantly growing beyond him and wasn't damaged by their serious clash. This means Garou's durability should also be galaxy level. As for speed, Garou and Saitama's energy had to reach those distant stars within a decent time frame, at least within the time frame that Blast and his crew could finish their conversation. If we assume it took them a full minute to reach the furthest stars that we can see from Earth, the energy would be moving between 1.4 billion and 1.3 trillion times the speed of light. This is also just the resulting energy of Garou and Saitama's clash being directed another direction, so it stands to reason they'd be able to replicate such things normally. Blast could also react to this energy expanding and intercepted it, yet Garou thinks Blast isn't even worth his attention, and Blast actually isn't sure if he can defeat Garou. If you don't think the energy traveling is a valid form of determining their speed, since we don't know if their explosion scales to their combat speed, we can use Garou and Platinum S giant light constellations. Since it's fairly easy to calculate the distance they covered and we have the time frame literally drawn on the page, finding the speed here should be pretty simple. Most calculations consistently place this feat between 1.2 and 19 times the speed of light, with the most insane calculations being as high as 750 and 4,800 times the speed of light. Platinum S and Garou can both react to each other jumping around at these speeds, thus it scales to their combat and reaction speeds, and by the end of the fight, Garou blitzes Platinum S. He also then increases astronomically further in his battle against Saitama, however it's unfortunately sort of unquantifiable. We'll discuss Garou's more detailed skills and hacks once we get to the actual matchup. As for Goku, we'll be mainly sticking to Dragon Ball Super anime, though I may mention a few things from the manga to support what I'm saying. At the start of both the anime and manga, Goku becomes a Super Saiyan God and faces the God of Destruction Beerus. This God form surpasses anything from Dragon Ball Z, seeing as Goku doesn't even think Vegito could beat Beerus. During this fight, Goku and Beerus begin trading punches not unlike Garou and Saitama, and their clashes begin to threaten the universe. In the anime, this is stated an absurd amount of times by Whis, Elder Kai, and the narrator, though it's only stated once in the manga. Elder Kai specifically states that nothing will be left and that just a few punches will destroy the universe. Goku then surpasses Super Saiyan God, as stated several times once again, and shown by the fact that as a Super Saiyan he can continue to fight Beerus, and the narrator states once again that Goku and Beerus are hitting each other with the power to destroy the universe. This also means Goku's durability would scale to this level as well. Some take issue with this since they actually don't destroy the universe, it's just stated. For one, the three people who state this are some of the most reputable characters in the series. The Elder Kai is literally a god who overlooks the universe from another space. The narrator is literally just made to tell the viewer what's happening and what the stakes are narratively. Whis is an attendant of Beerus and should be aware of his capabilities, which we'll get to later as well. Narratively, all of these statements are also meant to illustrate what the stakes are, so they don't actually have to destroy the universe and, end the series. We also see energy from Goku and Beerus enveloping the universe, destroying things, and even reaching the Supreme Kai realm, which exists outside of the universe. Another thing people try to use to downplay the feat is saying that since Beerus is much stronger than Goku, Beerus contributed more to the feat than Goku did. This is honestly some of the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Goku and Beerus were clashing punches. That's what was threatening the universe. If Beerus was punching with astronomically more strength than Goku was, why wasn't he overpowering Goku? Why didn't Goku's arm explode when Beerus hits him with apparently way more energy than Goku was using? A huge narrative point to the fight, and why the universe wasn't actually destroyed, was because Goku and Beerus, quote, hit each other with the exact same force and angle, and canceled out each other's attacks. Emphasis on exact same force. After this, the narrator also says they were both hitting each other with a force to destroy the universe, not just Beerus. It's clear Beerus was holding back to Goku's level to have more fun, and the only people who claim this are people who didn't even watch the anime and just heard some kid spurg Goku Universal. Later on, Beerus and his brother Champa, another god of destruction, fight, and it's stated they would destroy Universe 6 and 7, and that gods fighting could destroy the universe. Goku, after absorbing God Ki, is constantly referred to as someone who rivals the power of the gods. In the Tournament of Power, Goku fights Jiren, who is stated over and over and over again to be stronger than the gods of destruction, and Beerus is mentioned specifically several times as well. After unlocking Ultra Instinct for the first time, Elder Kai comments that Goku is shaking the entire world of Void. At first he thinks it's just the stage, but corrects himself and says the entire Void. This Void is described as infinite nothingness, which the fact that Goku can shake it at all is kind of confusing, but it shook regardless. This could be explained by Goku's energy extending and filled the entire Void and shook the space, or maybe the Grand Priest created time and space which Goku shook. This is still just Goku near the beginning of the tournament, and before he grows even further and beats Jiren, putting him above the gods of destruction, or at least above Beerus in the anime. As for speed, we can use a similar method as to what we did with Garou and Saitama by calculating the speed their energy traveled across the universe. This was calculated between 97 to 587 quadrillion times the speed of light. Beerus can also catch up to Whis' casual travel speed, and at times thinks it's slow, and Whis' speeds have also been calculated in the quadrillions of times the speed of light range. If these methods aren't to your liking, we can also use generic power scaling by upscaling from Piccolo and Master Roshi being able to hit the moon in a matter of seconds, which is around 50% the speed of light. Piccolo did this with around a power level of 329 at the beginning of the Saiyan saga, and Goku by the end of the Frieza saga had a power level of 150 million. If we say that power levels are linear, which they aren't exactly, but we'll lowball, then Goku just in the Frieza saga is 246,000 times the speed of light. The reason I say this is probably a lowball is because even small gaps in power levels is enough to totally dominate someone. For example, Vegeta with 24,000 can blitz Qui with 18,000. Even using generic multipliers, Goku's Kaioken and Super Saiyan forms stacking onto his base form would yield Goku by the end of the Namek saga being over 1,000 times the speed of light. Add the Cell and Buu sagas with more training and more multipliers, and the fact that Goku in base could fight Copy Vegeta, who ragdolled Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, and stacking his Super Saiyan forms again would surpass that speed by hundreds if not thousands of times. These speeds are also narratively consistent with the fact that Goku was obviously able to compete with the likes of Majin Buu. Buu was able to destroy galaxies in the anime and would eventually destroy the entire universe, which would need massively faster than light speeds to accomplish. Now that we've outlined the stats, Goku is way stronger than Garou. Garou's best feats being around galaxy level is pretty sad since Goku has numerous universal statements. I couldn't even go over all of them due to just how many there are. To put the difference between one galaxy and the universe into perspective, even the lowest estimates and discoveries say that there are over 100 billion galaxies in the observable universe, let alone the millions of light years between them. Speed-wise, the gap is pretty insane as well. Using the energy travel speed method, Goku is over 70,000 times faster than Garou. If you don't think the energy travel feats are valid, Goku is still easily surpassing hundreds of thousands of times the speed of light, while you need to use some pretty outlandish calculations to even get Garou to a few thousand times light speed. I also didn't even mention arguments like Goku fighting in the world of Void, which supposedly lacks time entirely, or moves so fast he overpowered hits time skip. Moving without time would require infinite speed, and Goku would literally be infinitely faster than Garou. Now that we know Goku has better stats, maybe Garou has some ability that could turn the fight in his favor. In terms of hand-to-hand skill, not much has changed since I made my equal stats video. Garou has basically just achieved greater mastery with his techniques since then. For those who don't know, Goku prior to getting Ultra Instinct can predict and defend against Hit. Hit is a 1,000-year-old assassin who can basically stop time and uses perfect pressure point attacks. Goku can also fight Cell, who is programmed with the techniques of every top fighter on the planet, so Garou being real good at hand-to-hand is not beating Goku, especially with the speed gap. The abilities that people really want to know about is Garou's copying ability and Garou's cosmic radiation. After becoming Cosmic Fear mode, Garou passively generates cosmic radiation which poisons everyone around him, including all the S-Class. This includes Pig God, who can resist poisons that kill monsters in seconds. Goku himself does have poison resistance, as shown through his ability to drink the Water of the Gods, a potent toxin that can instantly kill master martial artists. As seen in the Tournament of Power, Goku can also create key barriers to defend against the poison attacks of Lavender. The fact that the S-Class didn't all instantly die, or weren't all instantly affected, even including children, a half-dead old man, and an otaku, would indicate that Goku also wouldn't instantly die, and he could just blitz Garou and one-shot him before it would significantly affect him. The copying ability is a little more complicated. During the fight with Saitama and Blast, Garou showcased the ability to copy both abilities and strength levels after seeing them. The argument is that Garou would just copy Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku and be as strong as he is. For this video, we are assuming both characters are going for the win or for the kill, and if Goku is in Mastered Ultra Instinct, he'd have no reason to hold back or wait around, especially since it attacks automatically. Between the speed and power gap, Goku would just blitz and one-shot Garou. However, if we put Goku more in character, maybe in base form or something, and he's like, whoa, this guy is super strong and I want to fight him for a bit. In this scenario, Garou could maybe copy suppressed Goku, and then Goku uses stronger forms and powers up, Goku could copy it. The problem is still the gap between Garou and Goku. If Garou is only around galaxy level, Goku would still be billions of times stronger than Garou. So let's say Goku holds back and fights Garou and Garou copies it, and then Goku goes Super Saiyan 3, a 400 times increase, and Garou copies that. And then he goes blue, and then he goes blue Kaioken, Even if Goku did all this, it'd be astronomically far off from Goku's full power. This is just due to the sheer gap between Galaxy and Universal, and Goku being literally billions of times stronger than Garou. For example, if Goku in base was Galaxy level, and then Goku's full power in base was Universal, even if Goku went, say, Super Saiyan 3, he wouldn't be even remotely close to his full power base form. And if we said Blue was 50 times stronger than that, Kaioken was another 20 times, it still wouldn't even be a fraction of full power base Goku. As we saw in the Tournament of Power, Goku will eventually decide to end a fight, such as with Ribrianne or the Saiyan Girl duo, long before he goes full power. Keep in mind, the Saiyan duo are superior to Kabe. In the Universe 6 arc, Kabe was as strong as Vegeta, who was relative to Goku, who, as we explained, was universal. So these Saiyan girls would be way above universal as well, and Goku fought them while weakened, and Goku still kind of decided to end the fight. So Garou, who's insignificant in comparison, probably wouldn't even register to Goku as a decent opponent, and even if Goku fought him for a little while, would eventually just decide to end the fight. The only way Garou's copying ability would be relevant would be if, for whatever reason, Goku actively wanted Garou to copy his full power. Maybe if this was under a sparring or casual type setting, this could be applicable, but if Goku is going for the win, which in a versus battle he would be, it's not super likely. You'd basically have to say Goku would have to intentionally throw the match to make things more exciting. Even if for whatever reason this did happen, Goku could just go, "Saiyans have no limits," and then get way stronger. As I explained in the Beerus fight, Goku in base stopped a death ball that a minute ago he couldn't stop as a Super Saiyan, becoming 50 times stronger, which is a way bigger increase than anything Saitama displayed when he was slapping Garou. I don't necessarily think something like this would exactly happen, but considering how much benefit we're giving Garou, I figure it was worth mentioning. If Garou proved to be too much, Goku may also try sealing him with the Mafuba, or bringing him too far to come back from the instant transmission, like what he did with Gas in the manga, or how he took Cell in the afterlife. Seeing as Garou questioned how he could even get to Earth from Jupiter, and depending on how early in the fight Goku did this, he could just blitz Garou and do it before he realizes and even attempts to copy anything. And it would just be a GG for Goku. It's not technically impossible for Goku to win, even if somehow Garou did raise to his level. Though I don't even think Garou would have the opportunity to do this anyway. In conclusion, unless you devoid Goku of any malice or will to win the fight, he should win pretty handily. Even granting Garou the insane benefit of the doubt, Goku technically does have some win conditions, assuming he doesn't one-shot to begin with. The winner is Goku. I know this video was a little complicated, but having to discuss Dragon Ball speed scaling and explaining Goku's character and behavior against Garou's copying ability can get a little confusing and requires more in-depth explanations. If it wasn't clear from the video either, Garou does stomp 23rd Budokai Goku like I originally planned. Make sure you subscribe for more One Punch Man content, and I'll see you next time.